Go.
Hey everybody, if you like these videos and you like what we're doing, make sure and give us a thumbs up, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and share our videos out there. And guys, this is all for the honor and glory of God. This is not for us. And so anything that you see is God's love and mercy, hopefully, is all that you see through our video.
Hi guys, this is Melissa from here on the Ruble Pre-stead. I got my little girl here. Today we're just gonna talk a little bit about our chickens and our chicken coop. These were the first animals that we got whenever we were trying to start doing this, and so I will turn it back to my husband, I guess.
Hi, chicken.
Okay, it's going.
Alright everybody, so chickens, right? That's the homestead, gotta have it, right? So we actually got the chickens before we decided to try the kind of more of the homestead adventure. I hate to say homestead, I don't know what else to call it. You guys know our plan, right? We've kind of shared with you what our plan is. Our plan is to eventually sell our home and to move on a piece of property and try to build a home out of the trees and things that's on the property and try to produce some of our own food the best we can. So a couple years ago, my wife wanted some chickens, and I'd never had chickens before. So this was our first go-round at trying to have chickens. This isn't our first go-round. So we had to learn a few things. I built a great big run for our chickens because I wasn't sure if we would be able to let them out much because of some of the neighborhood dogs and such. And so we built this big run out of this chicken wire and some logs that were we got some pine trees on the place, and we cut the logs down and I buried them down in the ground, and then we just stapled this chicken wire to it. And can I let you know that this right here, this chicken wire, not the best at keeping predators out at all. They can go right through it. I didn't know that before we got it. If I were going to do it over, I would do a heavier wire for sure over the chicken run. And we also have got fishing line, some old fishing line up across the top of the chicken run, and that's to keep the hawks and stuff out. It's not the best, but it's what we had, right? We had a lot of old fishing line that wasn't really good to put on a reel anymore. We love to fish. We absolutely love to fish, don't we, Luella? Yeah, we all love to fish, and so it wasn't any good for that anymore. So we used it to kill chickens. Every once in a while we gotta kill a chicken, huh? And we actually need to do that soon. Maybe we'll do a video on butchering a chicken, right? So some of the things we've kind of learned for sure, right? Trying to predator proof everything likes chicken, and so trying to predator proof it. This hay that you see down here, man, this winter here in Missouri's been weird. It's been kind of like a really long spring. It'll get cold enough at night to freeze, and then it warms up during the day and thaws out, and we just got tired of walking in the mud and stuff, and I was trying to figure out what I could do. And so we got about an acre field across the way that I cut with our brush hog, and I basically just cut hay out of it, kinda, right? And I raked it up and piled it, brought it over here with my little tractor and piled it up in here. It's about a foot thick, and it's great. Our chickens have went crazy since we put it in. They love it. We throw scratch feed out in it, and this should make really good compost one of these days, especially with the birds turning it up all the time. Always looking for new feed and looking for places to eat. Are we dancing, Sissy? Yeah. And so with them looking for places to eat, they should keep it turned up nice for us, and it should be really good. It may not be for us, right? It may be for whoever gets our house after us, but that's okay. They'll have some garden gold down here, if you will. And so I think maybe you want to go check for eggs? Yeah, let's go check for eggs. Come on, guys, let's go look for some eggs.
Okay guys, here we are behind the coop. This is where we actually open it up, and all the nesting boxes are in here, and let's just see if we've got some eggs. We usually check them of a morning and of an evening, and if you can't, or you're going somewhere of an evening, don't have time, it's no big deal unless it's really cold, and they will freeze. Looks like we got an egg.
There we go.
There's not a happy chicken in there,
Yeah,
apparently.
kind of a mad mama right now. There's some straw, so this is straw, and get back in there. Don't you come out here. You guys ever box a chicken? It's okay. It's okay, Luella. It's all right. So our Luella Rose, our daughter, she got her thumb.
You say hi? No.
She got her thumb hung in a door at church a while back ago. And ever since then, she's been super, she's always bashful, but she's been super bashful of everything. But here, guys, what we have is close to half a dozen worth of breakfast deliciousness right there. And for any of you guys that's not ever ate some farm fresh eggs, I can't explain it. I don't know why.
They're way better.
But they're way better. They are delicious. I know it doesn't make any...
it's about to fly out.
Hey. Hey, get back in there. Get back in there. All right, so these nesting boxes, we tried to make it where you didn't have to go in the run to check for eggs. It's okay. So you didn't have to check for eggs. And so I actually messed up some of the nesting boxes. And I'll show you kind of what I messed up and how they are actually laying now in the nesting boxes, to where they were just laying in the front of the coop and you had to fight all the chicken poop and chickens to get to your eggs, and it wasn't very much fun. That is to make sure, this is what not to do, make sure that you get it latched good.
Oh, you just saw two roosters fighting. This is the inside of our coop, guys. We have about 30 chickens right now, somewhere around there. You can see the hay and the fishing line we were talking about earlier for the predators. They're all over there right now because we actually feed them chicken scraps from when we eat, just to help supplement their food. And so we don't have to feed them quite as much grain. Saves us a little money. So here's just kind of a close-up of all of them. And I think we're going to show you our coop a little bit. So let's go over here. Here's the front. I think you could kind of see it earlier. We just got some tin on top for our roof. And
so, yeah, that's a good point. This tin is basically all we had to buy. We had to buy the nails and the screws and these hooks and the tin. The rest of it was just scrap material we had around here. So I don't know if you guys can see in there or not, but this is our chicken house. I clean it out about once a week, maybe every other week, just depending on how bad it gets, and clean the straw back out. But you can see those boxes in front of the, you can see this box here, right? And that was not there originally, and so that was making them nest out here out front, and so they weren't actually getting the eggs where we needed them. So we were having to reach through all this chicken poop and everything to get our eggs, and hey, there was one in there. And that was making it to where, we'll let her come out maybe. That was making it to where we couldn't get the eggs, and it was making it real hard. And so from talking to some other people that have chickens, I was trying to find a way to coax them into those boxes, those nesting boxes that we have. And I come up with this design. So there's actually a place for them to kind of rest in front of their nesting boxes, a place for them to walk and rest, and then that actually sticks up about 2 inches, and so they kind of go down into their nesting boxes. And it's the same way up on the top level. They actually go down into the nesting boxes, and it works out pretty good. So this coop is actually, if you want to scoot over, I'll try to line this back up. This coop is, like I said, it's all built from material we've had around here. It's nothing fancy, but it works, right? It keeps the chickens dry. It keeps them warm in the wintertime. And I don't know if you can see this straw that's up here, but the rafters, so there's a gap, and I leave a couple of them open, but there's a gap here. And in the wintertime, I just stuff that full of straw to help keep it warm. And then in the summertime, I pull the straw back out, and it gives us some good ventilation inside the chicken coop, which works out really nicely for us. It keeps the birds nice and cool. These PVC feeders that you see, there's some egg layer pellets in it. the PVC was here when we moved in, and so we just used them and made a little feeder out of it. That feeder over there, it didn't work as good as I thought it was going to. That will actually probably become some rabbit feeders by the time it's all said and done. We'll try to make rabbit feeders. And something else I'd like to talk to you guys about too is making sure that you do try to use stuff that you have the best you can, because I know that like nobody probably really has very much cash flow that they can use on extra stuff, right? And so think about the things that you have, the trees that you have, the materials you have around your house. You may be able to use them if you just kind of think out of the box. And truth be told, our chickens, we traded for them. My wife makes lye soap, and so we used some lye soap and different materials that we had, we didn't want anymore, to trade for the chickens instead of paying cash for them. And so that helps whenever you've got some things that you can trade, some things that you can use instead of cash flow, right? I would encourage, especially people my age, right? So I'm 30. My wife's a little younger than me. She likes to pick on me about being the old man, right?
And I'm 3 in March.
You'll be 3 in March, that's right. And so whenever we think about trying to get stuff, we don't usually, people my age don't think about trading, right? That bartering system, all that stuff's kind of out the window for us because we're just used to going to Walmart and paying whatever's on the ticket. But it doesn't have to be that way, right? In fact, I have found that we get better value out of our things by trying to trade than what we would have at like yard sales or something like that. It takes some more time. You have to slow down. You can't just run to the store and get whatever you want then, and so that makes it a little more difficult. But it's a way to do it without having to spend a whole lot of cash that you would like to spend on things like, oh, I don't know, your electric bill maybe, or your house payment or something like that. It helps. It helps a lot. You got anything you want to tell them, Luella? Do you like the chickens? No. So Luella actually really does like the chickens. I know you can't tell from the video, but like I said, she got her thumb hung a while back ago, and she's been kind of scared of everything ever since. It's taken her a while to kind of get used to everything. You got anything you want to add?
If you haven't already, please like and subscribe our videos, please. It helps us a lot. Feel free to share it on Facebook if this is gonna probably be on Facebook, but just like and subscribe our videos.
Yes, please. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Watch us act goofy and have fun. And we're in the process of building some rabbit hutches, and we may actually give you a quick sneak peek. You guys want a sneak peek at the rabbit hutches? See, I won't put that in the title. Only the people that watch to the end get to see the rabbit hutches.
You guys get a treat.
Yeah, you guys are going to get a treat. Come on, we'll show you guys the rabbit hutch real quick. So I told you guys, only the ones at the very end of the video, the ones that watch it to the end, get to see our sneak peek at our rabbit hutch. So don't look too close because there's a lot of mistakes in here, right? But once again, this is just some pine trees that was on the place, some smaller pine trees. We wanted some rabbit hutches. We want some rabbits. There seems to be, we like rabbit. We like to eat rabbit. And we've got a lot of friends that like to eat rabbit, and hard to find people that sell them. And so we decided, hey, let's go ahead and try it, right? And so we decided to start trying to, there's my bashful daughter, decided to start trying to build some rabbit hutches. And once again, without spending on very much cash, right, we got nails in this thing right now. I've got some screening that we've got, or some hardware wire to put in here. And we will show you a finished product whenever it's done. It's not quite done, we got a ways to go yet. But we will get it done, and we'll show you a finished product. And if you see our chickens back there, listen, we got too many roosters, and roosters will do what roosters do, right? So sorry if you've seen anything in the video, seen them fighting, or you've seen them trying to get friendly with the hens there. But that's what they do, right? That's their job. And so we're actually going to have a rooster butchering to get rid of a couple of our roosters, and that kind of stuff, and maybe we'll show a video on that. I know some of you won't be excited at all to see that, and some of you have probably never pulled the feathers off of a chicken, and so we will try to show you what that is like to do that. And if you're wondering what to get a 3-year-old for their birthday, a vine works really good. she likes a vine. All right, guys, I appreciate you, and we will show you this rabbit hutch when it's done. Thank you, guys.
See ya. Say bye.